Good evening and welcome to my presentation about what kind of a monster you would find under my bed. I think this is an extremely important question to ask from people because it reveals more about one's mind than any kind of a question form one could fill up in a psychiatrist's office, really. And therefore I suggest all the psychiatrists to take this question as part of their routine to ask from their patients. So let's move on to my monster under my bed. I've separated this presentation to two different sections. The first one will tell about the monster's hobbies. What kind of hobbies does the monster have? And the second part is about its personality. So let's start from the hobbies. I think the monster likes to play piano a lot, or maybe synthesizer, because it has one under the bed. It probably is going to get a bit mad at me when I rip the synthesizer out of his hands, because I finally bought a new pedal for the synthesizer and now I can actually play it. So the monster cannot play it anymore, but then again, did it really enjoy it playing with the program pedal? I don't think so. So maybe it used more time for drawing because there's like stacks and stacks of sketchbooks under the bed, so it has drawn a lot. And the monster has many other hobbies as well, like writing weird poems and short stories to a private blog and whatnot, but we really don't have time for that now because we are rushing to the next section, which is personality. The monster, as we are rushing, the monster is also rushing. It's always rushing from one place to another, or not really. Actually, most of the time it's stuck under the bed. It's just in this one tiny space, and it really never sees the light of the day. But when it does, it rushes from one place to another. But really, it feels like it's in a rush all the time, even if it's in this small place where nothing happens. It just feels like it's in a rush. It feels like it's late from life itself. It's trying to run up to the life and take it back, or like, catch it, but it never does. It feels like it's late from everything. And it has heard that successful monsters tend to be late. This funny anecdote, but it really doesn't. It isn't hilarious to the monster because it's not successful. Of course, it never leaves its place. It's merely late. It's not successful. It's merely late. And maybe that's the reason why it isn't successful, because it stays in one place and it never really goes anywhere to show up its skills. But then again, the monster really doesn't feel like it has any skills, so what it could possibly show to the world? So the monster decides to stay in its own cold, lonely little place under the bed and watch as the motes of dust just accumulate all over the place. And they sadly just represent years, passing years and long gone years, the motes of dust that it just sees accumulating everywhere. But that's the life of the monster. That's its personality. It's a bit melancholic, and what we can really sum up from all of this before we end this amazing presentation is that the monster really isn't happy. Most of the time it really isn't happy, but it survives. It survives from the energy that it gets from the hobbies that it has, and yeah, that's how the monster lives, and that's what the kind of a monster you would find under my bed. And psychiatrists really, you should really implement this tactic. Yeah.